Welcome back, Mustangs, to In the Stable, Staying Station podcast here in the MCA broadcast class. Today I'm with my other host, Wyatt Tessier.
Hello, Mustangs. Austin, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. We're here, this is our first podcast for the broadcast class. I know we did a few last year, me and Emilio. Emilio has graduated, so Wyatt's stepping in here. Excuse me. And we're going to talk today about the game tomorrow, Mustangs versus First Baptist Academy, and Wyatt's going to recap last game against UME.
All right, yeah, that was a great game. Great showing by the Mustangs last Friday. You know, coming in to an opponent, UME Eagles. Mustangs had a little rough season last year.
Right.
2-9 record, but they're coming into this season with a lot of high hopes, a lot of seniors this year, and just probably one of their bigger football programs they've had in a little bit.
Right, and a big part of that is the offseason that they went through. I mean, PC all summer, football practice all summer, which they didn't have last year because Coach Whitsett came in a little late last year, got the job later in the summer, so he was in late. We didn't get to go through a full offseason, but this year the Mustangs were preparing all summer for this, all spring for this, and they came out and showed it on Friday night.
Yeah, second-year coach is huge for this team, and then also just I feel like the feel around campus with this football team is that it's just a lot closer than it was last year together.
Right.
And obviously you're on the football team, so would you say that that's true?
I would say that's true. I think talking about the offseason, that brings everyone together for sure. And Coach Whitsett says it. I mean, there's so many things on the list that come with working all offseason that come before getting faster and stronger. It's just working out with all your brothers and getting to know each other and going through everything together. It really brings a team together. So I mean that was definitely a big deal for us this year, and that's why we're a lot more confident than we were last year.
Yeah, one of the big problems with last year was there was a bit of a quarterback carousel going on.
Right.
You know, Drew, Landon, and Cash. We kind of got that settled out right now with Drew being the main quarterback and then Cash being the center or Landon being the center and Cash being the running back.
Right.
You know, how important is that just to know who your guy is going to be that just commands the offense?
Yeah, I mean, Drew really did step up in the offseason, and I respect Landon over anyone on the team for stepping up and playing that center position. I mean, that's not easy to do. He's been a quarterback his whole life pretty much, and he realized we could use him on the line. So when he stepped up to take that center position, I respected it a ton. And Cash has always been a better guy running. Drew's just, and moral of the story is Drew's just getting a lot better, faster, and he can sling the ball pretty well, and he's just getting more confident on the field with his reads, and just a lot more confident throwing the ball, which is a lot better as a receiver to know who your guy is all through the offseason, build that chemistry, and not have to worry about another quarterback starting or if you're going to get the ball, whatever.
Yeah, I agree with you that I could see that confidence the other day. You know, I remember this one play where he had a ton of pressure in his face and he still made the throw and the wide receiver came down with the catch. So that just shows a lot of the confidence that he's been able to build up this offseason.
Right. I mean, he's repping it every day. He knows who to throw it to, where to throw it. He knows how to make his reads. And with a line like ours, we will get some pressure in our face sometimes, just a tad but true. And but Drew's really stepped up and showed that he can handle it. So.
Yeah, this game was kind of a blowout, 43-0, against a team that's in its second year.
Right.
How do you take that type of a win where it's 43-0?
So I mean I will say it's always good to look at the good plays and the good stuff when going back and looking at film or looking at the score. But there was a lot of improvement to be made here for this week because this team is night and day. And I don't know. It's definitely not as fun as having like a close game and pulling it out. But it's always fun to not worry about it for the second half. Get up big in the first half and let the freshmen play. And I will say, last year I think that could have been a close game with the Mustangs.
Yeah.
So the improvement is definitely there, even if the team we're playing doesn't show it, but the improvement is there for sure. So
the defense was huge this past game. I can remember only one time where the Eagles got across to y'all's side of the 50-yard line.
Right.
And so that's just huge every time you can basically start your drives almost in red zone territory.
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
Huge for the team. What big improvements do you think you've seen from the defensive side?
I think, we have a new defensive coordinator this year, Coach Castro, and he's very, very smart and a good players coach. I mean, he'll hear us out and understand, and we got a lot more coverages this year. Last year we basically ran one coverage all year. We got a lot more this year. We're ready to adjust for whatever they throw at us, and we have different personnels. I think we're just a lot more confident. Like the offseason is the biggest thing, I think, and it made us all very confident. The drills we do every day with tackling and running one-on-ones and defense and stuff like that, I mean, that definitely evened us out and made us a better team on defense for sure.
Yeah, I think this game was a very big, test just to see where the Mustangs were at and capitalizing on the opportunities they have.
Right.
You can get the ball at the 30, 40-yard line, but you're going to have to punch it in for the score.
For sure.
And so that is just huge. And then, this game it didn't have no fireworks in this game. There were definitely some fireworks.
For sure.
Noah Wheeler returning that touchdown. How electric was that on the field?
I mean, that was crazy. I was on the sideline. I wasn't on the punt return team, but I mean, that was something I'd never seen before. And nobody told it was Caden Brown who did the pitch back. Nobody told him to do this. From what I heard on the field, he caught it, and he was running up because Noah was behind him. He caught it in front of him. He was running up, and Noah said, "Go right." CB thought Caden Brown thought that he said go back, so he turned around and flipped the ball to Noah, and then Noah Wheeler, best punt returner in the state of Texas and in the nation, probably takes that back, no doubt.
Yeah, it's a good heads up play from Caden. He didn't have anything to do, so he gave to the player that can make some plays. So that was huge for the team. I think that really put the game almost out of reach. That was before the end of the first half. And then, this was just great showing by the Mustangs overall, just pretty much all the way through. And I'm really glad they got to put some guys in there that might not get some reps. That makes the whole team a lot more deep,
right.
A lot of experience.
Right. That's another thing we have this year. We have numbers. I think we have close to 40 on our roster. Last year we had 22, and I mean we just had some unhealthy guys, injured guys. And, I mean, this year we're a lot deeper. And, I mean, Coach Whitsett shows it in practice. He'll let you know that if you mess up, you always got to back up. And last year it wasn't like that. So I think the guys are playing with a lot more confidence.
Yeah, this was a huge game for the Mustangs, 43-0 win. And this puts them up 1-0 to start out the season. So it's a great start. And, that was just about everything that happened in last Friday's game.
Yeah, it was a good time. And got to celebrate it after, but... when Saturday, there's that bell.
That's not us.
That's not us. When Saturday comes, it's back to the film room. It's focusing on the next team, next team ahead. So you celebrate on Friday night, but I mean, we're all dialed in on First Baptist now. So First Baptist, Wyatt, they're pretty loaded with a lot of talent on their team. They have probably around 8 guys that have D1 offers. We played them last year at home and did end up losing that game. I mean, surprise, surprise last year. But I think the boys are a lot more confident this year. Let's talk about First Baptist for a second. They have Caleb Mitchell, number 12. He's a wide receiver, and he is 6'6" and 185 pounds. So kind of skinny guy, but he's tall, and he'll get up there and they'll throw some balls at you. So we're looking forward to defending that. They have Hunter McCoy, their starting quarterback, and last week they played Brazos, and he threw for 508 yards, and he was 16 for 22 throwing with 6 touchdowns, and then 1 touchdown to the ground. So,
yeah, this is going to be a true test for the Mustangs here. It's really difficult to come and play these teams with a lot of stars on them.
Right.
And so, the Mustangs last year, they definitely had a little bit of trouble with this team. But, this is a different team, as we were saying, for this past game. And, hopefully they won't blink an eye at this team right here.
Yeah, hopefully not. I mean, I think A game 1 win is very confident, but we can't play with the chip on our shoulder, or we can't play too confident, and going this one thinking it's going to be the same story. We're going to have to play really well and fast and physical because these guys are quick. So I guess we'll see how that goes tomorrow night. They got Arizona State guys, Utah guys.
Who's their quarterback?
His name is Hunter McCoy.
Okay, all right.
So did he play last year?
No, last year they had this guy named Garen James who went for 340 yards on the Mustangs. So
okay.
It seems like the First Baptist Saints, they like to air the ball out a little bit. 340 through the air, and they like to move the ball through the air. So that's what the Mustangs are going to have to play to this week.
Right, and I mean what we're looking at with the Mustangs is they're gonna be ready to do whatever the defense throws at them. We'll be ready to air it out, run the heavy set. I mean, whatever we really need to do. We got Christian Norrell and Landon Jones at the ends on the line, so hopefully they'll be holding it down on the outside. And we got the linebacker position, Luke Smith and Angel Lopez. Hopefully ready to stop the run, and I think they will be. And then our defensive backs are always pretty solid for the Stangs, good coverage. We have Noah Wheeler, Cash at the rover position, Preston Reeves, Caden Brown.
You're part of that unit too, right?
I am part of that unit. Austin George, thank you. And I mean, I think it'll be a close game. It's a good test for the Mustangs to see where they really truly are at after that week 1 win. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, and a couple more things from last game that I think were very important. Jacob Dover Smith. This is his first year playing football.
First year playing high school football.
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. And so I know it wasn't a big deal because of the score, but I don't know if you remember that one tackle where I think it was a wide receiver screen behind the line, and he just in open field he came up with that tackle, and that's a super hard tackle for even a player that's been playing for a long time. This is his first year.
I mean, he stepped right in there and strapped up, and he was ready to go. I mean, talk about a guy with some grit to him. He does not quit, and he's there every morning lift. I mean, all summer he was there. He's ready to play, and he stepped up big, and he's tall. He's fastest guy in the state probably.
Yeah.
Really quick dude, and he can lock it down at corner for sure. Very impressive for his first year playing.
Yeah, and then also Caden Brown, he came up with an interception last game, right?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
So, that's not necessarily one of the guys you'd expect maybe on the defensive side of the ball, but that's just very impressive for that. He's making those plays on the defensive side of the ball.
For sure.
And so I'm really excited for the Mustangs here. Good week 1, and we're looking forward to week 2 against First Baptist that we're hoping for a great game.
Yep, I think that's all Mustangs. We'll check back in with y'all next Thursday.
That seems about it. Mustangs, we're ready for some Mustangs football this Friday, and hopefully it'll be a good game. But y'all have a great day.
All right,
See
peace
you
out,
next
y'all.
one.
Go Stangs.